you, sister. Oh my goodness, I needed that. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to this new moon in Leo energy. I am Christine with Zen Wellness Space. And if you're new, welcome. And I'm joined by my beautiful, beautiful Leo rising sister, Shesheta. And if you want to go
Hey.
ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Sesheta and of SheshetaWeaves.com. And I am really happy to be here with my sister. Yeah, I guess I don't want to get into how we met, but maybe we'll save all of that for later. We got to get into
We
to
want
the
to get into the
juicy stuff.
juiciness. We could get into the juiciness, and
Oh,
if y'all
yeah.
interested into how this collaboration, came together and what prompted us on this Leo new moon to come together, stay tuned for later. But let's go ahead, and I hear the birds in your beautiful
Let's
background
go,
coming
girl.
in. They're ready for us to get into this Leo new moon energy. So our intention for this video today is to talk a little bit about the new moon in Leo. What is coming up? What are we feeling energetically, intuitively? We'll talk about the astrology of the new moon. We'll dive into the human design energy of the new moon,
And
and
we may not,
we may not.
because we
And
may get caught up.
we're basically just flowing with what you say. But that is our main intention today. I like to start my video
Yes,
off with an intention
we're
and
gonna
to
hold on
see.
to it.
Yeah, and to see how spirit flows throughout the session. So that is our intention to talk about this Leo new moon and to just commune and to talk about some of the energies that are going on with us because you may see a lot of new moon videos or what's coming up explaining the energies and what's going on, but we always feel like there's a missing component of what's kind of going on in our lives and how this energy is showing up in our lives. So we'll talk about that, but we'll also talk about how it's coming up for us and what we're feeling intuitively. So let's get into it. Let's get into
Do
it.
it.
So what's coming up for you, sis? I'm super curious for you, and we haven't connected like on this particular topic, but
Yeah.
I'm interested for you as a Leo rising, um, not only what you're feeling intuitively with this transit, but what you're feeling personally as well.
Ooh, so much. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna do
This
my
is
best,
personal for
y'all.
you. This is like legit
Yeah,
personal for you.
for real. Because so in my chart, so one of the things about like new moon, I find like, and I was gonna ask you this too, it's like how do you find that people that you talk to, like what are the questions they tend to have? But like a lot of times we just don't know where to find it if we're learning astrology and whatever. So the key thing people always say, look to where Leo is in your chart, like what house it rules. And for me, it's like depending on what you use. I use Placidus, and I've only recently started using first house, so it's like makes the houses perfect. So it's only
The
one sign.
whole sign house.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
don't really use that, but I use Placidus. So for me, my ascendant is in Leo, like Christine said, I'm a Leo rising, and so it's actually right above my ascendant. So, but it's basically it's conjunct. So I always say they are on top of my ascendant, literally. So the new moon is at like 22 degrees, right? 22 or 20 or 9. I don't know. I didn't look at my degrees. I'm sorry. I'm not that kind of astrologer. I do check. I will look. But I again, like we
23
were
degrees
saying,
of Leo.
23. Okay. That's yes. Yeah, that's my ascendant basically. So there you go. So basically for me 12th house, first house, that is like my inner self and my outer self. Literally like the line, right? Like the balance, like how do I balance the two of those
Literally.
but that's like the story of my life. Like if you were to read
Mhm.
my chart,
Mhm.
like it's crazy. And I've always like identified with the goddess Ma'at, and Ma'at is about balance. And so, and not just balance, like so much more, like so much more. That's like a simplified version of what Ma'at means.
Yeah, and you also have, I know when I hear Ma and balance, I think of Libra, and you also have Libra in your victory
Yes,
too,
my
right?
sun sign. Yep,
Hmm.
absolutely. So many ways, so many
Yeah.
ways. The crows talk to me. So that justice, like, that crow energy is very heavy. And so out here, it's like Ooh, like they're talking to me like all day, all morning, literally. So you
Yeah,
will hear them, right?
I love
Like, and I
that.
have to be like, not, I don't have to be like, but I've chosen to be like, wait,
Mhm.
let me listen a little closer and see
Yeah.
what the message is. I know that sounds a little wild, but it's
No, it
how I live
doesn't.
my life.
I'm surrounded by birds,
Yes.
trees, and crows remember you. And so I'll go to my favorite spots and beaches and they look for me and I look for it. And,
Yeah.
they have messages. So I don't think that's strange at all. I think that's,
Yeah,
you're
I love
paying
it. And
attention,
it's
you're
all,
aware.
yes, exactly. It's about being that awareness, right? And I'm learning that to like be in nature. We've been taught to be in walls so much, right? So for me, I felt my challenge was I needed to get back to nature and out of the walls and into the vast space to like blend in kind of thing, so that it's almost like you understand how you're different, how you are exactly the same
Yeah.
and totally different at the same time. Like, how does that
Yeah.
coexist in one space,
Yeah.
one body, one soul?
Yeah, and I think that's the beautiful energies of the 12th through the first house is, that how do I exist but be at the same time when I think of that energy, I think of literally the ring of fire birthing energy when a woman
Ooh,
is about to birth
yeah.
their baby. You're
Oh, I
carrying
got
that
chills off of
womb.
that, girl. Yeah.
Yeah, you're carrying, all the lessons of what it took, through the whole pregnancy. And it's like, okay, this identity, what is it going to be? You don't know it until you birth it, until you actually enter that first house and realize, okay, what's this new identity? But that 12th house energy is just like all of that reflection. Like, what do I need before this kind of ring of fire? And you saying that this is part of your life story and your identity, I'm sure that ring of fire rings true to you in your life. And it's not easy place, but it's such a powerful place. It's
Girl, yes. And that's the thing. It's like, if you've ever birthed anything, right? It doesn't have to be a physical
exactly.
child. If you've ever
Exactly.
seen something from like concept
Hmm.
into like I see it happening in front of me into now it's like this full grown thing like out
Hmm.
in front of me. It's amazing. It's an amazing like powerful place to be. So and that's like the divine mother energy, right? And I feel like that's perfect. It's like soul in alignment because the moon is in it's a balsamic moon right now, right? In
Hmm.
in Cancer as is it did it get to Leo yet? I
Yeah,
don't
and we're
even
in Leo.
Oh,
Hmm.
we're in Leo. Oh,
Hmm.
so we just came out of that phase, right? So that's that, like, literally, I should have been paying more attention to the times, but that's me. That's my should, that's like my brain thinking, telling me. But as I've been talking to you about, like, learning to lean into that feeling aspect of it all, it's like, and that's that Cancer energy, right? That mother energy. So it's asking me because it's 12th house, it's Pisces energy. Where's Neptune, right? Like looking at where Neptune
Exactly.
is in Pisces at home, influencing everything. And I know I walk with a lot of water energy. I am
Hmm.
a what I need water. Like I
Yeah.
am water. I'm
Yeah.
very emotional. Like those are things and I've had to learn how to balance that, but I'm also very fiery. Like, catch me, say the wrong thing. If I didn't know you, it's like, so like people
That's
get like,
right.
I knew you weren't all Zen. I knew you weren't all, It's
Hmm.
like, no, you want to test me, right? It's like,
Hmm.
I might pop off.
Yeah, and I think that speaks to just looking at the transits and what's coming up here. It speaks to that Lilith energy. The new moon is going to be right in between the sun, Venus, and Lilith.
Yes.
And so
Yeah.
just
That's
really stepping
crazy.
into that wild energy, like, yeah,
Dark feminine
you can try
too.
me if you
Yes.
want, but I am not going to conform. I'm going to shine my authentic self bravely with boldness, with curiosity, because I know that I'm royal and you need to respect that. And so that's definitely what's coming up for me during these energies and looking at, that transit. And those, coming up for you in your 12th house and your first house, that's powerful energy. I think to me, it intuitively says is like, what do you need to release to embody some of those themes?
Absolutely. Yes, it's like how do you step out of yourself to become yourself, right? It's
Yes,
literally
exactly.
shedding, right? Snake energy. I've been very heavy that snake medicine too. It's that ability to transform, to not be afraid to let everything go and start over, right? And the hard part is, how do you do that? Like, as you grow, there are things you still want to hold on to. You still, like, they've made you who you are, right?
Yeah.
And you have to learn, we have to learn how to figure out what those things are. And that's
Mhm.
really freaking hard.
It's
Really
hard.
hard.
It's hard.
Sometimes you hit, especially when you have a strong energy. I'm very stubborn. I have a lot of
Mhm.
fixed energy.
Mhm.
So I fight myself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I
Mhm.
will be the person who stands in my way. And I have been. And now, though, right? We channeling a whole other thing. And, that's why I want to bring in this human design aspect to it, because I feel like it's so, like, it's added this, like, layer to it for me
Mhm.
that's like, oh my gosh, like, it's helping things hit home. So if
Yeah.
you could talk about, like, the gates and, like, where they are,
Yeah,
and, like,
absolutely.
any,
Yeah.
like, special like, I definitely know, like, we can talk about how it looks in our own chart, our own body
Mhm.
graphs rather, but
Mhm.
I just want you to talk about it generally.
Yeah, for sure. So I'll talk about it generally, but before we do, I just kind of want to share, if I could, what's coming up for me
Oh,
with
girl,
the
yeah.
Leo new moon. And it's so interesting because you're a Leo rising and I'm a Virgo rising. So I'm right after you. So the moon is transiting right now in my 11th and 12th house. And for me, that really means like, okay, my mission, like, what am I doing with the information that I'm getting right now in regards to sharing it out with the collective. And that's kind of, the themes that are coming up for me big time during this Leo season is community, and is just like the collective, and how my personal message is getting out there. And yeah, bringing in the human design is part of my, message. We came together through, really came together, deep together through the Read the Mentorship. Cohort with Ian Cat, the Hungry Medium, by way of ATR's book club. Buku Huda Fest is where we originally met. And that's one thing that she said to me. It's like, you need to be like, because astrology is just so, it's so in me. It's just, it's like I love it, right? But she's like, you need
Keep
to
it.
step into the human design and really seeing that illuminate. And thanks to you shining a light on me and my human design work, within the community that I'm in, I was able to see how the groundwork that I've been doing, the laying of the foundation has been doing, is asking to be illuminated now, and is asking for another step into kind of like my mission work or my soul work right now. And so, yeah, the human design aspect is very interesting. And it's because of a Leo rising that brought that out of me, to really step up and embody, and saying, yeah,
Love
this may not
that.
be, quote unquote, the trend or the norm, but this is where I see where the true liberation lies. Again, bringing in that Lilith aspect, and the themes of the Leo new moon is just like being brave, being courageous, and being bold. And it's like, this is really how, and that's why I love human design, because it's energetically how you break through the systems, and, what's coming up, and how they, in the box that they want to put you through. It's how you take your power back, but versus submit, because you know and you understand your own energies. And the beautiful thing about human design is, it's that you're understanding not only like the energies, like the felt energies of how, like, not necessarily how you should act, but how the energies are wanting to play out. Versus astrology is like, here's the cosmic weather of what's going on outer space. But human design is the energies of what's lighting up with you energetically, what is coming up for you energetically. And when you work with human design, you need to sit with yourself a little bit more. You need to understand your authority. You need to understand your profile and how that's playing out within your energetic story, because human design is energetics, versus, the weather out in the world.
Sorry.
Oh, what happened?
Nature.
Nature.
I'm sorry, to squirrels. I was like, what the heck?
Girl, maybe it was a
And
sign that
so
I'm
you said
getting it.
cosmic weather, and it's like
Yes,
trying to rain on me. I'm like, oh, yeah, weather.
yes, yes. And I think that's a good point. I'm glad that you brought that in because with human design, there's a lot of information that's out there that comes in. There's a lot to learn. Similar like astrology, you could spend your whole life learning astrology. You could spend your whole
Really?
life learning human design. But I think with human design, it's meant to be felt versus studied. It's meant
Mm,
to be feel the energies. And we might feel like we want to be squirrely and we might want to go everywhere and look at all these different
yep,
information, but it
yep.
requires us to really sit and reflect on our own energies before we project out and before, because you'll see and you'll notice that what you need will come to you automatically if you're aligned with your authority, if you're aligned with your, your personality, and you're doing the things not to lean into your not self things. Like that squirrely energy, you'll see will slowly fall away because you're present in your energetic body.
Like grounded, right? Like I
Hmm.
feel like it's right, it's like looking at how the body functions here and like what opportunities lie
Hmm.
for, like I was saying that like layering now, it's like it helps to have that understanding of astrology, but I don't know many people who've only gone into human design and then astrology. Most people I know have started an astrologer and then like kind of dabbled, which is me. I've dabbled, but you've done way more than dabble, which is why I was happy to be like send and be able to be like, okay, yeah, because you were hitting home for me, and getting you to be able to see, um having you say that, seeing people say it resonated, and it's like so
Hmm.
much of it is about trusting ourselves, and that's totally what this is all about, but it is definitely hitting home for me. That is absolutely where I need to learn how to trust myself, right? Because we've been in places and situations, and not everybody, but I'm that type. I'm the personality where I felt like it made me just choose to walk in a certain way, right? So
Yeah.
it's like you want to protect yourself always, right? So it's like
Hmm.
it's like Lilith energy, right? But like
Hmm.
that's that dark feminine scorpionic energy. I have a
Yeah,
Scorpio stellium, right? Like so
really,
it's
like
like that
spirit,
like
that
dark,
power.
right? But you can use that power in multiple
Yeah.
ways, right? I liken
Hmm.
it to Sekhmet energy, which is like
Mm.
the divine eye of
Hmm.
Ra, right? But like she
Hmm.
could get really crazy, but she
Hmm.
could be your divine healer. It just really depends on how you come at her, right? Or how she's moving in the world. What trauma is she carrying that's making her act her not self?
That's
Exactly
so
like you said,
real.
you
That's
know.
so real. That makes us not want to be bold. I feel like it's because when we're battling those, insecurities or perceptions, why would we want to be bold? Why would I want to share that? Why would I want to put myself out there? Because there's
Mhm.
different things and conditioning. So refighting that and putting yourself out there is like the constant lesson. And I think that's why it's so important to be in community, to have, sisters like yourself that uplift you. Like I see you. You may not see you yet, but I see you, and I think and that's kind of what we want to create with,
That's
what we're
awesome.
doing. It's like I see you, you see me, let's see each other.
Let's
Let's
build
uplift
like
each other.
Legos, right? It's like connect together. It's like Voltron. I say
Yes,
Legos, like Voltron. It's like,
yes, yes,
right? It just gets bigger, right? You get a bigger
yeah,
Merkut, a bigger pyramid. Um,
yeah, for
you get
sure.
higher up the mountain,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
closer to divine energy.
yeah.
So
And I
okay,
think
wait.
with that being said, like you are an answer to a prayer that I had, or you, by way of what you did, was an answer to a prayer that I had with you sharing. And so that's exactly where the sun and the moon is in this gate of answers, of this gate of formalization into answers. And so I wrote, kind of like different quotes or affirmations to go along with each transit, each human design transit. So I'll share some of those, and then I can either go one by one, or and then we can talk about it, or share all of them and then we could talk about it. How you feeling?
Okay, so if if I can control myself, I'll let you share the whole list,
Okay. Okay.
and then whatever hits me, let's go there.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right,
Sounds
okay.
good.
I'm
Okay.
gonna go on
So
mute.
yeah. So looking at the sun and the moon, they're in Earth. The sun and moon are in gate 4. And gate 4 is the gate of formalization and AKA answers, right? Also known as the gate of answers. So this is where you get answers. And it's in the gate 4, line 5 at the time of the new moon. So this energy speaks to, and as well as the Earth is in 49.5. So 49, line 5. So line 5 represents the energy to synthesize ideas from different sources to get different perspectives, to get a better understanding or a viewpoint of what you want to do. So that 5 energy, there, that's the heroic energy. You're tapping into all of these different sources to be that middle person to create the change. You're going from that internal processing with the lines 1 through 4, 1 through 3, to now outsourcing, that 5 energy for the collective, for the betterment of the collective. So for the sun and moon in gates 4, line 5, the quote that I have is tapping into youthful joy to help you get out of mind clutter, to discover your unique heart answer. The power to harness a healing powers for forgiveness, to formulate an idea, to birth solutions for others. So this is where I said you were an answer to my prayer. You were this formalization of this new moon energy, that 4.4, line 5 energy, for me to tap into my youthfulness. Like I tap into my youthfulness by recording myself, by being on my, YouTube stage, and really tapping into that to literally clear out the mind clutter, to tap into that answer that falls within my heart. And that's my way of gaining my power back to heal
Yes.
myself, and
Yeah.
forgive myself for my Gemini 10th house Chiron wounding, right? To provide answers for the collective, and to birth solutions for the collective. So that's using the energy of the sun in Earth gate 4, to really find those answers, to ask for forgiveness, that gate line 5, to search for meaning and birthing of an idea. And so that's the quote that I
We
came
need
up
to
with for that.
we need to just stop there because I'm already like, I wrote down who I am and who do
Mhm.
I want to be, right?
Yes,
And it was like channeling and thinking of main character energy. That's
yes.
Tatiana Tara always says that, right? She's like,
Mhm.
this is your main character moment. It's like, who do you want to be? And that's exactly what that 12th house ascendant conjunction, first house, it's like, who are you and who do you want to be? And again, those next layers, and I love that because we get to these moments where we understand we have to learn to be clear. And so you
Yeah,
ask for something specific, but you've also been doing the work. Like I know you do the work, which is why we're here together, right? So it's like it's not just supporting another sister who is brilliant and genius and gorgeous because she 'cause you're all of that, but you also know what the hell you're talking about. And I love how we've talked about this idea of healing in real time,
yes,
what that looks like in like walking, talking form. It's like, yeah, it looks messy sometimes. Like, you may not see
yes,
me when I look messy because I am a Libra, Venusian, Taurus moon girl. So, no, I don't walk out of my house just looking crazy. So,
yes.
if you see me, I always say, if you see me looking crazy, that is a red
Got it.
freaking flag.
Mm.
Come
That's
and
real.
check
That's
on me,
real.
okay?
That's real.
Right? Because
Hmm.
I enjoy, looking a certain way. So it's like it doesn't necessarily look like it, but it is hard and it requires crying, like ugly crying, like,
And you
the
know what's so
crying.
interesting
Ugh,
too? The fact that you're bringing this up, and just like, the identity. Venus, we know, is retrograde.
yep,
Venus is in the line set, or in gate 7. Gate 7 is the role of self.
yep.
So we're
Abs
reviewing the role of self to really understanding in the time of this new moon, it's in line 6. So that line 6 is all about that role model energy, right? The really understanding the processes and what we've gotten to really then feed back. So what I put here is knowing your worth and the power behind your throne. So
mm,
being that Leo on your throne. So knowing that work and the power behind your throne, allowing yourself to be seen as the leader and as the wide shepherd to guide us towards the ideal future. So
ooh,
that's that
child.
energy of the 7 is to knowing yourself, to be that shepherd, to
Spirituality. That's
guide us.
also
Yeah,
7 is like Neptune energy again.
preach
It's
on
like
it.
we're coming right back to that water, which is like, here we
Preach on
go.
it.
It's like full
Hmm.
freaking circle. You know, it's like it's so amazing. I love
Hmm.
it. And it's
Mhm. And
just
then
so
seven too. Seven is the energy of spiritually, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
spiritually seeking, asking questions and answers, seeking within yourself. We're retrograde right now. So reflecting back, doing that inner work, which you spoke to that 12th and first house.
Yeah, that Neptune energy is heavy. So that's a
Mhm.
thing. That's another thing that I, would recommend people look at, like
Yes.
where Pluto is in their chart right now, because it's moving, but it hasn't moved. It's moved a lot, but not, and like back and forth, but still it has major influence because it's like generational. So
Yes.
when these big, far planets, well, like big, it's not big, but when they're really far away, they have bigger influence, is what I'm saying, longer
Mhm.
influence. So it's like understanding. And that's literally where my Pluto is like, Pluto is doing a dance on, oh, you think you're cute? Okay, let's try
Mhm.
this. Like,
Got
wow.
you.
But I've also been like, I can take it. I can do this. I'm like, okay, uncle. Wait, I need a moment. So I literally have been, and I've been getting that message, right? Like I read cards. I know you read cards. I, read the cosmic weather and the conversation that's happening. I try to do my best to sit in nature as much as possible and like listen, with that other ear. And when you talk about that, all of that, that's like my inner ear is like all going off, and it's like, oh yeah, understanding that these planets are influencing a specific part of us, like to make or break us. Literally, it's like, what are you made of? Like, are you really who you say you want to be, right? And it's also like, I feel like you getting checked by, if you do this work, it's like your egun, your ancestors, they will be like, oh, okay, let's try
For
this, and
sure.
they'll
For
come they'll
sure.
come check on you. How you doing?
Uh-huh,
How
uh-huh.
you
You said
doing with
you really
this?
about that action? Let me see. Let me see if you really about that action because that's what you said, right?
Exactly. You asked me, didn't you? Just the other day. I remember. You need me to pull it up.
Exactly that. They got the receipts. They got the receipts. They got the receipts.
Oh, there's a great meme in there somewhere, right? But
Oh,
it's like,
for sure.
I'm
For,
sure it probably already exists in some
for
other
sure.
form. But yes, it's so Neptune also, so it's like that deep spiritual Piscean energy, 12th
Mm-hmm,
house vibe that we've been talking
mm-hmm,
about. And
mm-hmm,
you're in your 12th house perfection year, correct?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
again, so like I love this because I know we could talk about so many topics in so many ways, but I think we will. That's the
Oh,
good
I think we
exciting
will
part. We
too.
will.
Mm-hmm,
So but maybe not all right now, but
mm-hmm.
just how that layers onto another layer, right? That you can another lens. And just thinking about how you talked about going into like hermit mode.
Mm-hmm,
And I find like we were talking about personal years and
mm-hmm.
how the 9 is playing in effect, the 8 is playing into effect, and like how the blend for me, which I said I was in a blend of, I'm about to have my birthday, my solar
Yeah,
return in
yeah.
October, but I'm like in this in between. So
Mm-hmm.
I like in so many ways, the
Yeah,
way I'm shown how I'm being pulled in this like and molded by this in between space, it's
yeah.
like the power of the void, the ring of
The
fire, the
power of the
birthing.
void. Yeah.
Yes, like you literally said, it's like the crowning. It's like I haven't
Mm-hmm.
crowned yet, It's like, or
Mm-hmm.
I am crowning. I am the crown. Every single freaking
Beautiful.
moment, I am the
Mm-hmm.
crown. And that's
Mhm.
huge too, because it's like
Mhm.
getting to that space of I am enough right now. I think Trisha Hershey and her beautiful rest card, rest
Yeah.
deck, I have that card. I pulled it twice. I am enough now. It's like,
Ooh,
oh, again.
yeah.
Let's try it again. One more again.
Yeah.
She needs it again.
Yeah.
I am
And
enough
I
now.
think with Mars, Mars is in gate 47. It's leaving 61 and entering gate 47. No, excuse me, it's leaving 47. So we're in 47 now, and at the time of the new moon, it's entering the gate 6. So
Okay.
47 is all about realizations and the aha moment. So
Mm.
really understanding it's like you're getting these aha moments and realizing in order for, again, Mars is that energy to take action, what's driving us right now. So the realization in order to resolve, so that crowning being, okay, I'm realizing what needs to happen, I need to push a little bit more in order to resolve, in order to get back in to or to birth or to come into
Yeah, it's like
form
the
or whatever you
caterpillar
want.
right before that
Exactly.
bursting stage, almost but it's actually a butterfly now. It just hasn't broken out, right? It's like still
Exactly.
waiting, waiting, waiting. They're like, not
Exactly.
yet, not yet. Doing the double
Exactly.
dutch.
Yeah, and 6 is not easy either. It sounds like resolve, but it's also the gate of friction. So causing friction for a resolution, right? And
Oh, girl.
understanding behaviors and patterns and where you need to break free and break away from barriers that are in a right with
Stallion,
you.
so
And that
Uranus.
yeah,
Ah,
in that
ah,
intimacy that comes with it. And Uranus is a big player in this new moon, in this energy of this new moon. And
okay.
so understanding that, yeah, with the resolve comes sporadic change and realization. I put here as the quote, realizing the right way for you to create intimacy that can
Mhm.
resolve conflict in an intimate way. So
Ooh,
something
girl. Ooh. Okay, wait.
I need to go create memes or something for these because you.
Woo.
Ooh, the realizing the right way to create intimacy in a way that can resolve conflict.
Ashe, girl, that is good. That is so good. Can I tell you that that
Please.
six gives me the
Mm.
channel? I don't have the name of the channel, but maybe you can help me. It's 59.6.
Hmm.
It is it's transit Mars, and it gives me the channel with my unconscious Mars. So I would love for your opinion as to what that means
And you
for me.
said which channel is it? 59.6?
59.6. I'm sorry. I gave you no time to
Oh,
prepare.
please, no
Like
worries.
on
I
the
just want
spot.
to I just want to get the name of the gate for
No
the
problem.
for the gate.
So, I'll talk while
Oh, yes, of course I know this gate too well. Why do I not know this? Because this is my unconscious Earth gate is the 59. So I have this channel. I have this channel of 59.6, and it's the channel of intimacy. So
It is. Okay.
so creating that intimacy, with the what is 59, with the 59 and the 6. So it's that solar plexus and that sacral energy, the mating
Yes.
to form bonds with others. And that's exactly what we're doing right now, my friend. We see you, I see you. We're creating this intimate bond in order to birth something, right? This birth something new, something revolutionary, something sporadic, something Uranian, something Neptunian
Lightning.
into, yes,
Shocking.
yes,
Shocking in a good
yes,
way, right?
in a good way.
As a catalyst, I
Mhm.
love I'm a catalyst for change, and I just heard that, but clearly I must have heard it from Shirley Chisholm, said she was a catalyst for change, and I was like,
Mm,
oh, I don't remember learning about her like that, but I
yeah.
love that just concept because it's why I do my work, but it's why I do the work for myself, right? It's
Hmm.
like um it's to see how that Uranian energy works within your life and how to like I have that in a very prominent space also. So it's like I work this dance of how do you be shocking
Yes,
but in a soft, sweet,
yes,
intimate way, right? Which is totally that
yes,
intimacy.
yes.
And it's everything that the remothering that I'm doing
Mm,
through my 12th house work is completely hitting home for me,
Yeah.
because it requires that remothering,
And it
right?
requires
So many of
vulnerability.
us need that
That's what this channel
vulnerability.
requires,
Absolutely.
a deep level of vulnerability. Um, but making sure we're not isolating ourselves and we're still continuing to create those relationships, because not
Absolutely.
create relationships with everybody, right? But create relationships with the people that, because that's a big theme with this new moon energies when they're just looking at the human design transits. It's to really be authentic to you. What is feels real for you? What is the hard yes? What is the hard no? And creating those intimacy bonds, because that's what's going to drive us to continue as our authentic self, to continue to roar boldly roar out boldly
Totally.
outwardly, and to
Tongue
take that
twister.
seat at our throne, to crown
Yes.
ourselves and to
And you
be
need
our own.
people, right? Like and the people make you the leader too, right? It's like they have
Exactly.
the power to empower you, but you have to also still like you can't not know who you are.
Mhm.
You'll get tossed aside by opinions and thoughts, and that is totally it. It's like not giving an F what the hell anybody else thinks and just being who you are, everything, all that you are right now, as long as you're being authentic to your heart yes and your heart no. Oh my gosh, it's like a beautiful like bow
Yeah.
on it all.
Yeah, it really is. I think I have here the gate four is where answers mentally pressure out doubt of the
Mm,
gate 63 to formalize solutions.
and that's
So
Pluto, right?
63 is all about doubt, and that's that channel with the four. Just thinking about that four energies that's playing out in the sun and the moon. And so just really getting rid of that doubt to create a solution that comes with the six. So
I love it. I
and
love
then
it.
gathering other people's perspective, because that's the Earth Gate too. So the Earth Gate, that line five. Again, line five being the synthesis of ideas from different sources. The
Grounding.
49 is the revolution, which has been the constant theme of
Yep,
this,
absolutely.
that Uranian energy, that revolution. And that is what the Earth Gate M59 is all about, is revolution. It's that also that tribal energy to gather different perspectives, again in that line five, to synthesize ideas. So what I wrote for that is to gather different perspectives for revolutionary shifts, knowing that sacrifices will be made in order for you to stand in your power and for you not to conform. Embody your values so that you can stand in your truth and trust the timing of your process.
Yes, getting out of your own way, right? I literally was talking about that before. It's like, are we there yet?
Yeah.
I have this book. It's called The Impatient Caterpillar, and it's so cute. It's literally
That
this
sounds like
idea of
such
this
a cute book.
caterpillar.
My daughter might
Uh,
need that. She's a
oh,
Leo
yes.
moon, so
Oh
shout
my
out to my
gosh.
daughter.
I totally recommend it. I have to find the author, but if not,
I
it's
love
called
that. She
The
needs.
Hungry Caterpillar, and he's like, not hungry, sorry, the impatient caterpillar,
To
the
get to
other
that
one,
food.
impatient caterpillar, and he's the whole time, sorry, spoiler alert here, the whole time he's like, trying to break out of his chrysalis before it's time. He's like, "Is it time yet?" And he breaks out, and he looks all like decrepit, and like he's so
Yeah.
bushy and like oozing out.
Yeah. Oh, baby.
And then he tries again, and then it's like, oh, is it time now? And then he's like got like half a wing, right? So it's like he keeps, and then it's like a really funny. It has cute jokes, but the idea is this, are we there yet? And like not trusting that you are in the right place at the right time. And I have, I'm not going to remember the gate now, but I do have a gate, and maybe you'll remember just from me talking about it. But it's talking about the idea of leaning into being in the right place at the right time,
Mm,
and not doubting, literally not doubting that your magic and who you are and the
yes.
work you're doing, being
Yes.
connected to most high, connected to nature, connected to self, that the magic is gonna happen. It's like
Hmm.
it's already written. So it's just like rest, right? Rest in a
Yeah.
way that's like, oh, like working at rest in a way, but it's not like, I feel like it's weird when you say work at rest, but It's literally what do you do to just like let go
And
so you can
ground
move
in
on,
your body, ground in your body.
be
That's
in
one
your
thing that
body.
I wrote for the Mercury transit in 47 line 3, which is
Mhm.
47 is mindset, and realization. So, and I wrote grounding in your body to calm the mind in order for you to gain awareness about your next steps, recognizing who you are and trusting and realizing your best interest at heart.
Absolutely.
So grounding in that body and just that awareness of self, that awareness of
That's
self.
it, right? That's Empress energy, right? That's a
Hmm.
tarot card, Empress. Again, back we are to royalty, sitting on a throne, knowing how to
And
sit
that's
on the
Venus.
throne, knowing how to sit on the throne, right?
Hmm.
Like, let's think about it. Like, what is it required to just sit? Like, if they told you you couldn't do anything but sit on the crown, like on the throne, you're supposed to just sit there on that throne, not moving, not, you know, but the idea is also right. We've heard Chantrell talk about that misconception of being royal all the
Yeah.
time, right? Like there's
Hmm.
all this work that's actually being done to serve the community, to serve the people, to serve in this work, right?
Hmm.
So it does require sacrifice, but I feel like what we haven't taken on because of all kinds of reasons, maybe ancestral trauma that we walk with, or we have other programming that we have sometimes that just stops us from being able to be in our bodies and
Hmm.
sitting and feeling like
Yeah.
literally feeling, because sometimes it hurts, sometimes
Yeah.
we physically have pain, and so escaping and like not thinking about it is like the easiest way to like get through it every day, so it's like all these coping mechanisms that you might still need right now, right? Like that's kind of the thing. It's like you gotta like it's like weaning yourself off, right? Don't try to
Yeah.
do everything at once,
Yeah.
right? That's also that destructive second energy. It's like let's
Hmm.
just raise everything. It's like let me just burn everything down. I don't give a fuck. I'm done. I'm
Yeah.
done. And
Yeah.
that's like we don't have to do that. We don't have
Yeah.
to be that. We can
We
be
can
more
just trust in
of
our inner authority,
woo
which is how
child.
you
We can
ground
trust
in
in
your
our
body.
magic.
Trust in your own magic, your own voice, your own inner authorities. And the last couple of points that I have in regards to you, human design, is just that point. You are worthy. Listen to your own inner voice.
For
Know
sure.
your worth. Value what you bring to the table just as much as what anybody else brings to the table. Value what you do, what you bring to the table just as much. Ensure you're not giving out too much of your ideas and keeping some of that value and that word to yourself, and discerning and sitting with it and trusting your inner authority when it's ready to be shared or when it's ready to be birthed out, and
Hmm.
trusting that timing of it all, trusting the timing. So those are like the key overall energies of what came up for me. Are there any like leaving thoughts or ideas of what came up for you, just like talking about that, and just also knowing that a lot right now with the gates are in our ajna right now, so understanding that there is a lot of mind clutter, and there is a lot that are transitioning through our mind and our head and our third eye. So really understanding that, and again, trusting your own authority, leaning into your authority. What is your authority in human design? Grab your mind body graph chart down there. Are you an emotional authority? Do you need time to process? Are you a lunar authority? This, if you are a reflector and you're a lunar authority, you have probably more than likely have had so many downloads over the last couple of days, because this is really when things become clear and you're able to reflect out to the collective some of the things that you have been synthesizing. Are you a splenic? Do you know right away? Do you get that hit right away for you when it comes up? So really trusting your own voice, your own inner authority, not when somebody else tells you, oh, I need an answer right away, I need this right away, you're doing this, we need this product, da, 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 da. Excuse me, I'm not going to leave into my not self theme of
Yes.
frustration. I'm
It's
going to listen to my inner authority and honor my emotional wave. I'll get back to you in 48 hours.
and not also letting go of that urgency, that sense of like now, now, now. We've been taught that in society that now is like now, gotta do it now, or everybody's functioning on this. Gotta get there now. Gotta, and then like as we use more technology, which is amazing, but at the same time it's like people have a hard time sometimes being able to control how much focus, right? Because it's
That
like we're
squirrel.
constant, right? That squirrel energy, exactly. It's like we're used to things loading really fast. We want the information now, and we have it a lot of times. And like you said before, like you can know and you can plan and all those things, and then the divine plan comes in and washes that shit out the way. And it's like, no, that's actually not where you're going. It's like literally blows you.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you can tumble and land with grace.
Yeah, and
Or
even
you can
better than where
roll.
you could have even imagined or started in the first place.
Exactly.
I think
Yes.
of, this and like, me coming to our group and saying, hey, I got this idea. Like, this is something that we need to do on new. And look how, because we've honored our authority, how it's transformed and how it's transpired to be something that's in alignment. And when it's in alignment, it comes easy. Egun are supporting us. Stars on set are supporting us. The spirits, everything is just energetically in alignment because we are honoring that.
Ashe, I love that. I love all of that. And we could talk for hours.
We
Oh my
could, we
gosh, we really
could.
could. But this
Oh,
is just a
well, if y'all like
teaser.
this, let us know if, because I don't know, I haven't seen much of this. It's just like, this is what you need to do. Full moon, new moon. This is what you need to do. This is how it's happening. This is the ethers. But this, what do we call it? Like the astrology or living it in real time and
Healing in
living.
real time.
Yes,
Healing in real
feeling it and
time.
living it in real time. This is what it's about. This is where true transformation happens. So, if you're interested in healing in real time and having these airy chats with us, join us, like us, subscribe, and put some information in the comments. All of Shisheta's beautiful information will be in the description box. So, make sure you connect with her. As you can see,
So
she's
fun.
got beautiful jewelry on, handcrafted by her, beautiful sound bowls. We were kind of introduced to that coming in into the space and just grounding ourselves in the space. So there's so many beautiful things that Shisheta has to offer and that I have to offer and that we're going to offer in the future.
And
So
we're gonna do it for ourselves, whether y'all want it or not. So
we're
there
going
you
to
go.
show up because
And
we know
we'll benefit
how
from
much
it.
this has been transformative for us. From our first
Yeah.
conversation, it's like, oh, I see a sis that knows astrology on the level I do. Every single conversation we've had
Mind
about just
blowing.
having this has
Heart
been
opening.
transformational,
Heart opening.
heart
And that's
opening
it. It's a
and
heart bowl.
transformational and a heart
Yeah.
pull. And we're
Heart
just extending our hearts, our Leo hearts to you all in this space. So join us. Like I said, like she said, we're going to have it or not. If you want to join our heart space, come on in. We're inviting you all and we'll see how this manifests going forward. We don't know,
exactly.
but we're going to
Next
listen to our
time. This is
authority.
so beautiful, darling. I love it and I love you as always.
I love you too. We'll go ahead and stop and we'll catch you guys in the next time.